Edmonton. Before Mother's Day, there's Birthmother's Day, a day to celebrate moms who put their children up for adoption. Saturday, a group of around a dozen birth mothers gathered in North Edmonton to celebrate their adoption decision, what they see as a difficult but positive process. Serena Banman, 35, put her son up for adoption 15 years ago but still maintains contact with him and the adoptive family. "I wanted to come today to celebrate the ladies themselves and make sure they know how special they are for making the decision that they did," she said. The day was organized by Adoption Options, a non-profit that uses an open adoption system. This differs from the older closed system that cut birth parents off from their children. No information was shared about the child's life in the closed system. In the mid-1980s, Adoption Options became the first agency in Alberta to use the open system, which makes sure a relationship between birth parents, child and adoptive parents is cultivated. The relationships vary based on what each party wants, but the agency tries to make sure everyone is satisfied and comfortable. The main thing birth parents like about the agency is their ability to choose the family their child goes to and how much contact they can have thereafter. The first few years just going through the grieving and healing process, Mother's Day and Birthmother's Day would have been a reminder of something that's a little bit difficult for you, Banman said. But as the years went on and I was able to heal, now it's something that's super awesome for me celebrate because I'm so proud of my adoption experience. Natalie Robinson, a social worker with Adoption Options, said Birthmother's Day is there for women to help them process making an extremely difficult decision. It can be many different emotions for a lot of different women, she said. For some women it's a day of celebration, for others it can be a day of mourning. There has often been secrecy and shame around adoption, Robinson said. She said birth parents who find themselves in a difficult situation, but still want their child to grow up in a good home, are empowering to her. "I'm very humbled by so many of these women and the strength that has gone behind making this decision, really, with their child's best interest in mind," she said. At a cost of just over $14,000, adopting a child through their agency is expensive. But the agency has a robust process where they interview and screen adoptive parents asking about everything from conflict resolution to how their parents' relationships were. The interview alone can take up to 12 hours, Robinson said. They hold seminars and offer counseling as well. Most of the adoptive parents choose the agency in light of their intensive process around their open system and believe in the relationship with the birth parent being nurtured. The closed system, which Robinson said most people still attribute adoption to, cut all ties between birth parents and child. Often an adoptive family would tell the child they were adopted when they were an adult, or not at all, Robinson said. What was found over the years was that it was much more challenging for everybody involved, she said. There was a lot more grief from many birth parents. Furthermore, they found children often wanted to know about their family background, why they looked the way they did and where their musical talents came from, Robinson explained. The closed system is non-existent nowadays, Robinson said. Even when adopting through the government, there is at least sharing of some information between birth parents and adoptive parents. Her agency receives many requests from birth parents for help, but believing that adoption isn't for everybody, Robinson said they place a relatively small number of children in adoption homes. Last year, they placed 29 children and the year before, 40. Robinson said there is a downward trend in adoption since single parenting and abortion have become more socially acceptable. But Robinson said the stigma of adoption still exists for most birth mothers, and Birthmother's Day is a time where women can come together and share their experiences. Being a birth mom, you can kind of feel like an island sometimes. It doesn't really feel like there are a lot of other birth moms around you, Robinson said. Those that attend bring pictures of the adopted children if they have them, or in the case of a closed adoption, an empty picture frame. It's one of the most selfless decisions that, I feel, a woman can make, to choose to have someone else raise your child, Robinson said. It's quite humbling for me to be in the presence of such amazing women that have made that very difficult but selfless decision. Kieran Levitt is an Edmonton-based reporter. Follow him on Twitter, @KieranLevitt.